Hi everyone, back with another video. This one's just a little bit different from normal. I've made like a compilation of all the different ways I've made gold in the last 5 days. And over the last 5 days, I've made 86,000 gold, 697. So if you figured that out as a daily average, that's 17,000 gold a day or 520,000 gold for a 30-day month. For anyone new to this channel or watching one of my videos for the first time, I'm not a serious gamer. I just play casually. I probably made this gold over the last 5 days, maybe spending 2 hours a day playing the game. And I do that instead of watching TV. I do watch some TV with my wife, but for the most part, this is just how I do my relaxation. So I'm not committing solid days to making this much gold. And the whole point of making this compilation is for anyone who hasn't watched all of the single videos, or just anybody who's looking to be able to afford their subscription like I do. Or perhaps you want gold for different things. Maybe you want to swap the coins in to buy that auction house mount. I'm seriously considering it after that video I do at the end, because all that running back and forth, oh my goodness, that auction house mount would make a difference. So just for anybody looking to make a bunch of gold, I'm just trying to help, really. And I just want to start by saying I didn't come up with all of these ideas on my own. Some of my viewers commented recommending some of these gold farms, which is amazing because not only does it help me, but now it helps you. And those people are incredibly generous for sharing those gold farms with us. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank them for doing that. This is a long video, but it has a lot of different ways you can make gold in it. You can use all of them. You can use none of them. You could use some of them. Just pick what works for you and what works with your gaming style. If you do find this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It really makes a big difference for this channel. And if you can, I know it's a super long video, but if you can, watching all the way to the end helps YouTube go, people like this video, let's show it to more people, and we can help more people that way, and it helps out the channel as well. So if you could do that, that's awesome. If you can't, that's fine. I understand not everybody has an hour to sit here and listen to me ramble. So mostly you're probably going to cut through and look at different things depending on what you're interested in. That's fine. So without any further prefacing, let's go and look at the different ways I'm making gold this week. Hi everyone, back today with another video. So today we're just going to redo the Weaver Cloth run. I've had a lot of comments saying lately that it's not making gold, people aren't able to collect things while they're in there, or that it's making less than 3,000 gold before lockout. So I just thought I'd run it myself today. I haven't done it for I don't know, maybe 2 weeks now. I took a bit of a break over Christmas, to do family things and then to recover from doing family things. So back at it now. I'm just going to run this for 30 minutes. I've got the timer on the side so you can see how long I've done it for. I won't make you endure 30 minutes of runs. So I have sped this up for you. You can see that the Weaver Cloth drops have not changed. I'm still getting quite a lot. I'm getting the Dawn Weave. Lots of people have asked about the Dusk Weave. I don't have the spec for that yet. I'm working on it with my knowledge points, so I can't confirm whether or not you get the Dusk Weave from in here, but you do definitely get the Dawn Weave, and I got a fair bit of it. I was able to make 20 something charges of the bolts after this, with just what I got from this run. And I had leftover it. I sold it on the auction house. So I'll do this run in its entirety for the 30 minutes so you can make sure I'm not lying to you. I don't want to be one of those YouTube channels that's like, this is a guaranteed way to make gold, but I won't prove how it's actually making gold. I'll just send you off on your merry way and then wait for you to spend 4 hours and discover it doesn't work. So I'm doing the full thing myself to show you here. So feel free to watch this if you want. You don't have to. You can just skip to the second half where I go through how much gold I make and what my talent points are, and why it's important to be spec'd for cloth farming. Don't just run into it. You have to be a tailor for just for starts. Only tailors can collect cloth, only miners can collect ores. So you have to be a tailor, but also make sure that you're spec'd in the knowledge tree that actually lets you collect the cloth. So it's not just enough to be a tailor. You have to also be spec'd in the knowledge tree that lets you collect the cloth. And I will go through what that is at the end of the video, the second half of the video, really. And I'll go through what that is and how to do it, and why it's important. But basically, if you're not specced out, you're either getting no cloth or you're getting very little cloth, and that might account for why some people are saying they're only making about 3,000 gold before lockout, because I made more than that. You'll see in this video. And I'm a healer. I did reach lockout for the first time ever, and I will talk about that when we get there. So that the rules of that might have changed, but it could also be how much higher my item level is now. I'm a healer, a disc priest, so I can do a little bit of damage here, but I'm like a quarter of a DPS. So other people will be getting locked out much faster. If you're wanting to make the most you possibly can out of this run, I would suggest doing the second room. If you're doing it to lockout, do the second room. But when I do this run, I'm doing it because I only want to spend 30 minutes on it or so. I don't want to spend 2 hours farming cloth. I want to go and do other things. So it doesn't bother me that I reach the lockout pretty quickly. I'm happy to just get my 30 minutes in and then go off and into the world and play WoW. So I like being able to afford my subscription this way, but also the being able to cover everything I need. Like if I want to buy a recipe on WoW and it's 100,000 gold, I just go and buy the recipe on WoW. So there's lots of things like that where this type of gold really pays off for me, but I just don't see the point in gold farming exclusively. Like I still want to play the game. So I only do 30 minutes, probably once every second day, around writing my books and being a mother. I don't get as much time to play WoW as I would perhaps like in my very busy life. But it's up to you how you enjoy this. If you want to set aside a solid block for the day and do nothing but weaver cloth farming, this isn't the thing for you. You can do it until the lockout, but I think the lockout is across characters on an account, and I think it's for an hour. I don't know. I didn't play with this. I did the run. I did the auction house. I went and did my orders. I did a couple of public orders. I made about 10,000 gold that way. And after this, I'm going to do some delves, just make sure the gold farming there is still working, and then I'll go check out Siren Isles. So I'm just playing the game, really. So if you're looking for a full day farm, I would recommend going and finding one of those weaver cloth groups. This makes an insane amount of cloth, but if you're looking to put 12 hours in this will cap you at about 30 minutes, and then you'll have to wait for it to unlock again. So it really just depends if this is what your exclusive method of gold farming is. I think the delves make a lot more gold per hour, I think. This still makes a fair bit, but I think the delves do better. I like this because of the ability to build my knowledge tree, and then make those public orders. And I make a lot of gold from those in a few minutes, and I don't have to do very much at all. I've done all of the work in the lead up to, and most people come with their own materials now. So it's just easier that way. I make a lot of gold that way. So this type of farm has like side benefits, and it's worthwhile exploring all of those. Level the knowledge tree, learn the different recipes, and make the most. Broaden the way you're making gold. If you're doing it exclusively for the weaver cloth, you'll kind of get burnt out. Make sure you're branching. Make sure you're working into those public orders, and gearing yourself up so when you do these things, it's a bit faster. If you're enjoying this, remember to like and subscribe. It's free for you and it's super helpful for me. It lets me know you liked this video and what you want me to create more of. Leave a comment if you want me to do something in particular, or if you have something nice to say, and I'll try to reply to you. Also, feel free to mention whether or not, if you found a better way to do weaver cloth farming, like if you think there's a faster way to collect this much cloth. As a healer, keep in mind I'm a healer. I'm so slow. I am leveling a mage right now, but that's taking time and it's happening in between everything else. But it's very slow on my healer. But if you think you know of a faster way to collect cloth, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I'll go and make a video on it and share it with other people who are a bit more time strapped like me, and just looking for a way to make the gold you need to make, to play the game really comfortably, to pay for your subscription, and to cover your repair bills and all the things you need while leveling characters. So feel free to share that if you feel comfortable, and I'll definitely give you a bit of a call out in the next video if that was you. There's been a couple of people who have mentioned things in the past, and that's been super helpful, and I make sure to thank them in the videos. All right, we're getting towards the end of this run, and we're about to talk about how much cloth we've collected during it. But it has definitely made a lot more gold than people were saying in the comments, and I will go through exactly how much. But there is a lot of cloth here, and there's no way it's worth 3,000 gold. So let's have a look at the next part. Okay, so that was the first time ever I've experienced a lockout, and I think it has something to do with my improved item level and the fact that I'm doing a little bit more damage now. You're probably getting lockouts much faster as a DPS, but that just means you're getting this amount of cloth faster. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to reach the lockout. So we'll just go to the auction house now to have a look at how much gold we made for this 30-minute run. So just in grey items, we made 249 gold, which is like, it's not an insane amount, but that's a repair bill for raid later. So it's definitely a nice little bonus to get. We actually collected a lot of gold, a lot of cloth in this run. So you can see here we've got over 300 weaver cloths, almost 100 bolts, and a lot of dawn weave. I know a lot of people have asked, can you collect dusk weave this way? I don't have the dusk weave talent. I'm working towards it. You can see towards the end of this video, I show you how I've been building up my talent points. And I get really close. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm assuming that because I can collect dawn weave this way, you can collect dusk weave this way. And as soon as I have the talent in my tree, I will go do the farm and confirm it for you guys. So for this 30-minute run, we made 10,941 gold. Again, I'm a healer. If you're a DPS, you're probably making that much gold in about 15 minutes. Yes, I have reached the lockout, but it's a lot of gold to make in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I mean, I did it in 30 as a healer. So mostly this video is part of a compilation where I'm going to put together a couple of ways I'm making gold on a large scale basis, but have had a lot of comments saying you only make about 3,000 gold here. My suggestion to those people is to have a look at your talent tree and make sure you are maxed out in ensuring you can collect as much weaver cloth as possible. So this is me showing you my talent tree, what I've got specced in for my tailoring. I am increasing this every pretty much every day with those patron orders. I know people say it's money in a hole, but having the ability to collect as much cloth as possible really increases my farming. But it also gets me those commissions. Sometimes I get up to 10,000 gold per order I make for all people on the realm because I have so many things I can make on option. So it's just really important that you're maxed out in textile treasures to be getting as much cloth as possible. It's really important to just make as much as you can out of this. So you can prioritize this however you like. You can see here I've got patron orders. There are 14 there. I'm just going through initially and checking all of the ones where the order is covered. You can see by the green ticks that the NPC has provided the ingredients we're looking for. And I'm going to go through and make all of those. Those are basically free talent points, and you get 50 to 70 gold for each of those, and then sometimes a little bag. So when I do these orders, I can make anywhere from 200 gold to 1,000, depending on whether or not I get those little stacks of reviews and things like that. I will go through and just do the ones that are covered in this video. You can see here all of the check marks. I will provide the gleaming shards, but the exquisite weaver cloth is the harder bit to supply, and 20 is a lot. So this is how I've been building my points. I will go through after this video with the cloth I've collected just now and do the other ones because I really want to get to that dusk weave collection to be able to collect dusk weave, so I can go and do that run for you guys and let you know if you can collect the dusk weave doing that dungeon. I think you can. Like I said, I don't have the talent, so I can't confirm it, but I don't see why it would be different. You can see here loads of these are giving the knowledge point and a bag, but also it's covering the expensive thing, which is the weaver cloth bulk, which means at the end of this I can put more of my cloth on the auction house after I've done this, just to really maximize profits. At this point, I'd like to remind you to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Clicky on that subscribe button. It's free for you and it really helps out this channel. Feel free to drop a comment in the box if you found this helpful, or if there's something you have a specific question about or want me to go do in particular, some sort of gold farm that you want me to go waste my time on before you do. And I'm happy to go do that for you guys. I don't mind doing these things. I'm one of those weirdos who actually enjoy these gold farms. So I'm happy to do that. So drop it in the comments if you like, or if you just want to say something, hopefully friendly, let's go with friendly, feel free to do that. I'm just going to go to the mailbox now and collect what I've got here and show you how I'm spending my knowledge points. You can see I got a lot from those boxes, the orders. I got the licenses and those other things, which really they sell well on the auction house. I don't list it here because I go to the auction house after I finish up this video. But just from doing those free ones, those free patron orders, I made about 700 gold, not counting the 50 to 78 gold, I think it is, that you can make from completing the orders at the time. So that was just with what I put on the auction house. And I got these talent points. So it took me like 3 minutes and I made almost 700 gold. So it's not a lot of gold, but for something that's going to help me make more gold in the future, making gold while preparing to make more gold is pretty awesome. So go and have a look at it. It's really worth your time. So I'm just showing you here what I'm doing. I'm trying to work towards getting the dusk weave cloth. And to do that, I have to max out the from dawn till dusk. That's all for this video. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW. I'm back today with another video. I just wanted to share a pet I found while doing world quests. And I'll show you on the map where this is. We're in the spider zone. I was just doing this world quest when I came across this treasure box, and it's got this pet inside of it. And I'll go list it on the auction house next, and you'll see how much it sells for. It is a battle pet. You can put it in a cage, so hooray. Sometimes you can't. And if you have access to the Shadowlands mission table, which is one of my commenters have pointed that out, you can go and level the pet to 25, and it probably sells for more than I just listed it here this way. So I have ignored the first 600 gold listing because I think there's a pretty good chance that that person is a sniper looking to pick up these pets and relist them later at a higher price. So I've relisted it as almost 7,000 gold. We'll see if it sells. If it doesn't, I'll go and do that mission table and level it up and see if that makes it a bit more tempting. Sometimes with pets, it just takes a little while, and I'm happy to hold on to them because they do sell. You just have to be patient. While I was doing this world quest in this area, so we're back in the spider zone in the same area where I found this treasure chest. I did notice while I was doing this quest, I was coming across loads of the globs of wax that you find on the ground, the disturbed earth. And I managed to pick up, and I wasn't even doing this on purpose, it was just while I was running around doing the quest. I managed to pick up 27 of the globs of wax. And I just think it could be a really good zone if you're a person who does that farming. I've gone and handed mine in the next little bit, but I haven't unlocked it before, so I'm still working on it. I'm working on my reputation for all of the major factions, so I can use the resonance crystals to buy the battle pets to list on the auction house. But to do that, my reputation has to go up with all of the different quest givers and reputation classes within this new expansion. So I'm just going through and doing that, which is, it's a side bonus of doing all these world quests. I'm making a bunch of gold today. I think just with the world quest, I made something like 20,000 because I picked up so much stuff while I was doing this, lots of cloth and things, and then the globs, and then I got a couple of vials, the Kaheti vials you get from the disturbed earth. I picked up actually a surprising amount of those, and that's done well for me, and plus this pet as well. So I will make a video if that pet does sell, when it does sell, so everybody can see how much it lists for. But it was really easy. It's not like I had to stake it out and farm it. I mean, I don't know if it changes location for the spawn or not, but go have a look and see if the pet is there for you. I just thought I'd show you next where you actually hand in these little globs of wax, and it's just in the Ringing Deeps. It's like the main area in the Ringing Deeps. You can see it on the map here. I stopped at the quartermaster here because he had stuff to give me, and those are always great to pick up. It's free. Just grab it as you run past. The vendor's in the back in the room here, and you need to collect a substantial amount of these globs of wax to get the little box that he has. I haven't been able to get the box yet. I don't know what's in it, and I don't know if it's worthwhile. Let me know in the comments if you know. But mostly, I like the reputation I'm getting while I'm doing this, and I wasn't farming it on purpose. I was just running past them. But if you're a person who farms it on purpose, let us know. Is it worthwhile doing this on purpose? If you like this video, clicky on that like and subscribe button. It's super helpful, and thank you for watching to the end. The algorithm really likes that. And that's all for today. Let me know if this helped you. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW. All right, so we're here with the second part of this compilation for how I'm making gold. So this one is a weekly one. You can only do this once a week, but it's a nice way to actually get in-game content in amongst your farming. It is the world quests, and I know a lot of people underestimate those and just tend to not do them. They don't take you very long at all. You have a pretty big chance to get a lot of gold from those caches. You can see here I'm buying the bags for the delve coins just because I handed in that little scroll thing you get once a week. And I'm going to list it on the auction house here. I am going to do a delve run soon so you can see how that works, but this listing was 11,500 gold, so that was actually pretty good for just handing in that scroll. So that was one delve and the little scroll thing. If I get another one, I'll record it and actually remember the name. So that's what that was there. So we're just going to go through the world quests. I'm having a look here to see if I can find any groups for this big guy, but there aren't any, and I can't be bothered making one, so I'm going to change my route. I'm going to do the world quests that give gold. So there's two 800-ish gold ones, and then just another one that gives rep, which isn't too bad because, at some point I might be able to use those I don't know, I can't say it. Those crystals you get from everything that I have a billion of. I might be able to use them at some point for transmog. These quests were really easy, and I did the Isle of Dawn quest in like 13 minutes. I did make sure to get the weekly quest beforehand, the one where they ask you to do. You choose from the list of 4. I just chose the world quests because I didn't know what I would get time for this week. And they're pretty easy to fit in around everything else. You don't have to do it all at once like a delve. You can't leave halfway through a delve and come back. So I chose the world quests for that reason. And those little caches you get at the end have a chance to have like a substantial amount of gold in them. I know the chance is low, but they can apparently, I've been told, have up to 30k in them. So it's worth going. I know it's a bit of a gamble, but you do make a few thousand gold just doing this anyway, and it's like 30 minutes. If you're a DPS, you could probably do this while you're queuing for dungeons or creating a mythic group or something like that. Whatever it is you do in your WoW time, this is something that's pretty easy to fit in while you're queuing for stuff around other things. So I just thought I'd do it here to show you how quick it really is. I am a discipline priest. My eye level is 511 or 611, something like that. I'm pretty geared out. I'm not the most geared person in the world, and I am a healer, so things are a bit slower for me. But I did find with this, the thing that took the longest was flying around from place to place, particularly when I went to Hallowfall for the other bit, for the last 2 quests I had to do. I ended up doing 3 because they had one of those ones where you do the 3 quests, you get the special quest that gives you the box, the special assignment quest. Look, I've just finished it there. How convenient was that? The special assignment box for Hallowfall. So I ended up doing 1 more quest there than I needed to because that box has a chance for a lot of gold, and why not? It was like 30 more seconds to do it, so I did it. I will say I'm not a fan of this big quest. I got mauled twice. Just as a healer, I just didn't have the ability to DPS down the big groups that swarm on you. So what I did was I went and looked for a DPS that was running around and followed them around and kept them healed up, and they were pulling big groups, and that worked really well for me. So I'm going to go put what I've got here on the auction house. It was just another 31 gold for that B stuff, but gold is gold, right? So now I'm trying to decide where to go in this video. I'm going to go to Hallowfall. You do see me log out there for like a minute. I have offspring, little children, that need me from time to time. So I had to go do that. And then when I came back, I completed the second half of this video. So that's what that's about. And like I said before, the longest part of this was the flying to and from the places. And that special assignment quest at the end takes just a little bit longer, that links one, mostly because I couldn't find the damn links. Uh, it's just not a skill I possess. I'm just not good at finding the links. It's like a personal failing. I did realize midway through this flight, you've probably seen me realize I'm capped out in Valor Stones. I do rectify that when I go back to the capital city, and I upgrade all my gear. I ended up being 614 at the end of this video, well, just after this video really, which will make my farming faster in the future, and now I can collect those Valor Stones again. I didn't realize I was capped out. I already had a lot of these radiant shards from a previous time where I did this quest like in a big way. I just spent like I think an hour, 30 minutes here killing stuff and doing the little side quests, and that's enabled me to just come through and really smash out this quest really quickly. You see I got a box there. It was only for 151 gold, but this radiant cache is a little bit different from the other ones I've been trying to collect. This next quest was really good. They were side by side and I could do them both pretty much in the same area at the same time. It did take a little bit of buggering around for me to figure out the toolboxes. I hadn't done that quest before, so it took me a minute to figure it out. But yeah, it was pretty quick. It didn't take very long, and like I said before, you can fit this in around other things, while queues and things like that. And it's just a really good way to get some extra cash. If all you're doing is raiding, for instance, and you're not a gold farmer, but you're looking for ways to afford your repair bill, the weekly quests are the way to do that. I think in the end I made, I don't know, 6,000 gold-ish. I'll tally it up at the end, we'll be sure. 6,000 gold-ish, which is more than enough for my weekly repair bills for my raid group. So it's a good way, if that's all you're doing, if you're doing mythics or raids and you're just looking for something to afford your repair bill and your consumables, like your pots and food and things like that. This is the way to do that. You don't have to be specialized, you don't have to have a profession, you can fit it in 5-minute blocks. This is just a really flexible way to make gold, and I think it is an overlooked way. People tend to go, quests are not that exciting, and it's not going to give me 10,000 gold in 30 minutes, like some of the other gold farms that I do, but it's still really steady and it's really consistent. You could probably make a bit more if you put in the time and effort to fly around the whole 4 zones. I haven't been to the Siren Isle yet, so I don't know what's up there. But if you took some time to fly around the zones and just do the quests that are 800 gold each, there's a few of them. You can usually pick up, I don't know, 3 or 4 a week. And that's probably enough for your repair bill, even if you're doing nothing else. I did pick up the Titan Disc quest, the World quest, and the Delve quest. I'm going to go do that next because I think Delves are the best way for a solo player to make gold. And that's for everyone. Like it doesn't matter what profession you are or what you're doing. Everybody can do it, even if you're a miner or just whatever. It's something for everyone. And they're really easy. I mean, it could just be because I'm a healer, I don't know, but you'd think that would make it harder, but maybe my ability to keep myself alive is a win there. I don't know, but I do tier 8 bountiful delves really easily. Sometimes you can get the little map that gives you the extra treasure chest at the end, and that can have 516 gear in it, 616 gear in it. You can tell I'm good at numbers. 616 gear in it, which is really good, and in most cases still an upgrade for me in some slots. So it's definitely good to get that, but it's really the delve coins you're looking at there. But those do take a solid block of time. I find that they take me anywhere from 18 to 38 minutes, depending on the delve that I'm doing, the delve that's bountiful. So this is a really flexible way, the world quests are a really flexible way to do this. So I've just finished opening up those little caches. We ended up making 5,761 gold, so not quite 6,000, but still pretty close, and it's definitely covering repair bills. So there's not much left to say for this part of the video other than really give the world quest a try. It's a good way to fit in time around other things you're doing, and they do make enough gold for casual players. I mean, it's not going to earn you a subscription, but it's if you're working towards a subscription, it shouldn't be ignored. It's a way every alt can earn gold, and it's just really chill and easy. It's a nice way to play the game. So that's all for this part of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Hi everyone, back today with another video. I'm getting a lot of commenters saying that they're not getting any of the public orders, which are the orders you get for your professions from other characters, other people on the realm or cross realm that you're linked with. And I'm just showing you here that I am in fact getting these orders. Some of them aren't a lot of gold, like I made 50 gold on that one. I made 3,000 gold on this one. And then the next one, I made almost 9,000. And I did this in the time space of 24 hours. So they do exist. And if you're struggling with it, my suggestion to you is to, when you open the public order box, click refresh. Because it doesn't show up. Even if there are orders there, it does not show up if you don't click the refresh button. Even for me now, I still have to click it. You can also advertise in chat if you want to do that. So I picked up one of these orders, but these public orders do still make gold for your professions, and don't ignore them. So just make sure when you're in the capital city, if you've got professions where you can craft things, go and check, refresh, or maybe just advertise in chat, because I made almost 12,000 gold this way and it took me less than a minute. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. I'm off to go do the Hello Fall Fishing Derby quest just to see if that makes me any gold. I've never done it before. I have no idea what I'm in for. So I'll just go have a look anyway. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW. Alright, so I've talked a lot about delves and how they make me a lot of gold. Firstly, I want to start by thanking the random on the internet that alerted me to the fact that I was accidentally farming these undercoins. But on the reset of each week, you get on each character. On the first delve, you complete this quest, the Archaic Cipher Key. And when you hand that in, and it's just near Bronzebeard, when you hand that in, you get 1.5 undercoins, and that allows you to buy 3 of the delve bags. And in those delve bags are a chance to get some really good regents. But the thing you want the most is the Profane Tinderbox, and occasionally get really lucky. I had one the other day where I got 3 boxes out of 1 bag. But usually the items range from 700 gold each up to 2,000 gold each for those Tinderboxes. I think they're 2,500 at the moment. That was the last lot I sold. It fluctuates a lot there, so it isn't guaranteed. And you can do that on every alt. And not only is it a good way to gear your alts up for these other farms, because at the end of the run you get a piece of gear. I tend to do tier 8s, the tier 8 bountiful delves on my discipline priest. I have got a mage and I've done a single delve. I did the quest delve, and I did that on level 3, I think, and I still got the cipher key. So I don't think it has to be a bountiful to get the cipher key. But I do the tier 8s because I'm trying to gear up as best I can to make some of this other farming easier, because I want to do mount farming in the future, and it would just be easier if my item level was a bit higher. So that's the cusp of it. For every delve you do, depending on what tier level you do, I tend to cap out at tier 8. I think I could do the higher ones, but I don't actually know if you get any more coins for doing those. So leave me a comment if you do. But I've noticed that you get, as long as you kill all of the little purple dudes, that, like in the video here, that get the special buff from the bad guy. As long as you kill all of the purple dudes in the completion, and you finish it timed, so you don't do any of the dying, and you finish it pretty quickly, you get 3 of the boxes at the end to open. And in those boxes you get anywhere from 200 to 300 delve coins, has been my experience. If you're lucky enough to get that treasure map, which, I run these delves to get my Great Vault pieces all the way to the end for those crests. So if you don't get a piece of gear that works for you, you can pick the little coins and you can swap those for crests. So I do like, I don't know, 8 of these a week. So I am doing a lot of these, but it's because I want to. But you often, probably once a week, twice a week, you get that map, and that gives you an extra box at the end, and that has 16 gear in it, I believe. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that has extra delve coins in it too. So there are a couple of ways you can get that, and they're just really, really easy ways to make gold while gearing up. And almost everyone, whether you're a gold farmer or you're looking to do raids, are looking to gear up to make those gameplay things a bit easier. The higher your item level is, the faster you're going to run things down, even as a healer. So it's beneficial in a number of ways to be doing these delves. But you might find that, like me, you had hundreds, thousands of these coins. I had enough to buy the pet initially, and I tried selling that, and it didn't make any gold, so don't do that. Unless it's doing insanely well on your realm check first. I think I made 15,000 gold from that. I had to spend a lot of coins on that. I would have made a lot more gold buying the bags. So yeah, definitely go have a look at that. These delves often pair well with the world quests, with the weekly quests you get. Sometimes Bram will give you some quests himself, and they can occasionally reward the coins, but often they do give a cash, and I did complete one, and I'll attach the bit at the end for this week, and I got 3,500 gold from that little box, that cash box at the end there. I was already doing the delves anyway. You can also collect the Titan discs this way, so the world quest, the weekly world quest where you get the Titan discs, you can also complete that quest this way and get the cash at the end of that. So there's a lot of overlap here. If you're a farmer, like a cloth or just anything really, with cloth, mining or herbs, you can pick that up in these delves. I'm not saying it's an insane way to make gold. Don't do it. Don't run delves exclusively for herbing, as an example. But there are other ways to make gold while you're doing this. And with most gold making strategies, the thing that works the best is finding something that does a variety of things. That way, if something caps out in the market, you've got other options. Like with the weaver cloth, it's selling for half the value it used to sell for. It's still making a lot of gold, don't get me wrong, but I'm no longer rolling in it for every single run. But my leveling my tailoring points up has made a big difference, because now I can do those public orders, and I'm making a lot of gold that way. So by branching out and making sure you're just making as much gold from doing a single thing as possible, it's kind of like just in life, really. Having multiple sources of income makes it less likely you will struggle financially if something happens to one of those sources of income. And I just brought that principle into WoW. So I look at what is the best ways to make gold, doing something and turning that into many different ways. So I'm going to go have a look next at my enchanter. So this toon is an enchanter and a tailorer. I do make almost all of my public orders on my tailor profession. I don't get many. I sometimes get the crests, but mostly I make those orders on my tailor. So I'm just going to go have a look, and because I have a lot of recipes, I have an insane amount of gold, and you've probably noticed in some of my videos, if there's a recipe on the auction house I don't have, I buy it. So I have an insane amount of recipes that I haven't been using. I'm going to go and make a couple of those and list them on the auction house and see if there's a good way to make gold that way next, because I think that it could be a nice passive way to kind of use that enchanting ability. Mostly I've been just using it to enchant my own gear, again, to make these runs easier. But I think I could make some gold that way, so I'm going to go look at that next. But again, doing this delve at the end, I can disenchant the things I get from the materials to make those things to put on the auction house, which is again doing the delve for the coin. I only run delve solo. I run Bran as a healer. I just find it the easiest. The little pots he puts on the ground means that I can focus on doing damage, and I found when he was a DPS, I was constantly having to heal him. Just didn't want to have to do that. So I put him down as a healer for this, and I found that that really helps with some of those tougher bosses. I also have him collecting the herbs. I've got the little, I don't know, talent point for it that collects the herbs. And the mining, like every time I run past it. So if you're a miner or a herbalist, it's kind of like a good way to double tap those plants and ores, so you can get it twice. But if you're not, putting that talent point on Bran is a good way to make sure you are getting the herbs and the ore from these runs, even if you don't have the professions. Like I said, I'm a discipline priest. I have a mage, but I'm currently like level 72. So I don't actually know if these delves are any easier as a DPS or a healer. I have no idea. They take me a little while. I'm finding they're taking like 22 to 30 minutes, and that could be because my DPS is really low. Let me know in the comments if it goes faster for you as a DPS. I think my item level is 614 at the moment. I realised I was capped out on Bella Stones and went and improved all of the gear that I could there. So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, but it gave me like a 3-point bump, so that was nice. Go check your Bella Stones. Make sure you're not capped out. Yeah, so let me know if it's a bit faster on a DPS. this is just a reminder, if you haven't already, to like and subscribe. It's free for you and it's super helpful for me. It lets the algorithm know that you paid attention to my video, which is awesome. Thank you. But if you haven't already, clicky on that button. So we've made it to the end of the delve. I did it without dying, and I did it pretty quickly. So I got all of the boxes here. The little piles of gold, they're nothing really to scream home about. I wish they would improve the amount of gold you got based on the difficulty of the delve, because it doesn't seem to make any difference whether I do a tier 1 or a tier 8. They range from like 6 to 10 gold per pile, which is like sketchy, Blizzard. Come on, it's harder. Give me more gold, damn it. All right, so we've got our undercoins. I will say I had a little bit left over from the last 3 bags I bought. I actually bought it in the tailoring video at the beginning of the tailoring section of this video and listed them on the auction house. So you actually see me do that in the beginning there. I've also recently become aware that you can get a mount by completing the delve achievements. So that's another reason I'm going in here. I like mount collecting. And, you know, now that we're kind of in the middle of the season, there's a little bit less to do. I know the Siren Isles came out, but I don't know how long that'll be new for, you know, before you've done it and it's done. So I will be continuing these delves to finish these achievements, but also for the gold farming that I've been doing. Yeah, so these runs are pretty easy. They're finished pretty quickly. If you did it with a group, they might go faster. I don't know. I prefer to do these kinds of things solo. That's just kind of the person I am. So that's really all for this section of the video. Like I said, the delves make lots of gold. They get you gear. You get the achievements towards the mount. There's lots of reasons to go do them. But if you're looking for specific gold farming, go and check it out. Those coins make you a lot of money. And you probably already have a bunch of them in your bags. Hi everyone, back today with another video. I just thought I'd make a quick video on some of the other ways I'm making gold. I've been doing a couple of those, trying to share with everybody just what I'm doing. I don't want people thinking I do hardcore cloth farm all of the time, because I just don't. I don't have the mental capacity to do that. The way I make gold is probably more on a casual level. I make enough to pay for my subscription and then for my raid needs and any repair bills I get while doing delves and things like that, but that's really it. So I think one of the most overlooked ways to make gold are the patron orders, especially with the kind of catch-up mechanism it's got going at the moment. Any of the ones that are supplying all of the expensive ingredients. I mean, if you have to buy the thread from the vendor, go buy the thread from the vendor. But if the order is providing all of the ingredients that are expensive, you can actually make those orders for a profit. I know 60, I think it's 58 to 70 gold per order. It doesn't seem like a lot of gold, but when, especially on my tailor, because I can make so many orders, which is part of the bonus of leveling up your knowledge tree, but I can make so many different types of things that I get bunches of orders every day. And when it's covered, you actually make quite a lot of gold. And then there are those little bags that you get, and they sell for pretty well on the auction house, the things inside them, but the reviews are really the things you want. They sell for about 500 gold each, at least on my server. I don't know if that's server wide or not. I only play on one server. I have this and a level 72 ult, so I'm not really doing a whole lot across realms. So I just thought I'd share this, and I'll list them on the auction house here so you can see how much gold I'm making. I'm not just banging on about how you make gold without showing you that I am making gold this way. So I'll just go list them on the auction house now. This character is a tailor and an enchanter, so I will go do the enchanting reviews after the enchanting orders afterwards. The enchanting orders are just not as impressive as the tailoring ones, mostly I think because the catch-up mechanism for enchanting is through disenchanting. So when you disenchant things, you get the knowledge point that way. So there isn't a lot to get from the patron orders. So this would work well with other professions, I think, any profession really, not just tailoring. If you're an engineer or a blacksmith, the catch-up mechanism works the same. So go and have a look at your orders and see which ones are fully covered or almost fully covered. Which ones can you make for in a profit? Because you'll probably be surprised. And this only took me about 3 minutes, 3 and a bit. I did take a break in the middle. You can see here that my bag is a little bit emptier. I did put back on the auction house other things I got from my mailbox when I just opened there. And I didn't want to confuse you guys by what was making gold for this particular thing, because I make gold lots of different ways. So I'll just go have a quick look at the enchanting orders here. And there was only one that was worth doing. I mean, the Artisan's Acuity is still good. It helps you buy orders. My goodness, helps you buy recipes, which gives you more orders in the future because then you can make a new thing. So it's always worth building your knowledge tree, just for these orders, even if you're doing nothing else. So I'll go list this on the auction house now. But in total, with those orders, and I made all of them for free or for a couple of silver for the cloth. With those orders and the things I got from the bag, I made 1,100 gold in 3 minutes for free. I did nothing. I was just running around in the capital city. And it took 3 minutes. It's not a lot of money, but when you're making gold for things, every way you make gold is awesome, especially a 3-minute way. So go and check out your Patron orders and see how much free gold you can make. That's all for this video. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW. Hi everyone, back today with another video. I had some people who commented on my videos asking if there were any ways that I was doing pet farming as a way to make gold. And I just thought I'd share one I'm doing right now. With pet farming, it's a game of patience, really. They do sell. It's a bit it's not always guaranteed to be quick. So the world events are a good way to pet farm. And right now there's one going on. There's the 10-year anniversary, and there is a pet you can get with the bronze tokens, and you're probably getting those bronze tokens doing your world quests anyway. So all of the bronze tokens I have here, I got those just doing world quests. I just, and other things in the War Within campaign. I wasn't doing anything specifically to farm them. And I was able to get 6 of these pets this way. Hate Spark of the Tiny. You're only allowed to have 1 in your bag at a time, so you have to learn it and put it in a cage and then buy another one and learn it and put it in a cage and buy another one. But these kinds of pets, they do sell. I sell them for somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 gold a piece. And seeming as I was farming the coins, the bronze tokens for this anyway, you might as well, right? With these kinds of pet farms, it's a bit of a, you have to decide between what you want. Do you want the gold right now, or do you want more gold later? So what I've been doing is listing, definitely only sell 1 at a time. You don't want to flood the auction house with 5 or any more than 1 really of these at a time. You don't want to make the market oversaturated, so only list 1 of your pets at a time. But if you have the ability to hold on to them until the event ends, the pets will be worth a lot more gold. There's probably a couple of people doing this, lots of people doing this, I would imagine. I am doing this. But 6 months from now, these pets will be worth a lot more than 2,000 gold. And if you've got the ability to level them up to level 25, I know you can buy those little, if you've got a garrison, garrison, I'm not sure what it is. If you've got the ability to level pets up to 25, they'll sell for a lot more probably. But these pets are selling at 1,500 to 2,000 gold each. I am just listing them 1 at a time, and it's being used to kind of add some gold to what I'm doing. But I am going to hold on to the majority of them to sell a little while from now. So if you're looking for a pet farm that's going to make you gold, this is one. You can do it now. It is making gold now. I can't guarantee what the prices will be in the future, but I do know with the pattern of world events finishing, the value of these things always go up. So that's what I'm banking on here, is a bit of a gamble. There's probably a lot of people hoarding these, but not enough that 6 months from now it won't make a difference to the price. So I am anticipating making more later. This is just me showing you the pet does sell. I did make 1,800, a little more than 1,800 from this. There's a lot of other auctions in there as well. I do a lot of other gold farms, but this is a quick pet farm you're probably already doing. Just go to the Caverns of Time, pick it up, put it in a box and list it on the auction house, or stash it for later. That's all for this video, and as always, remember, girls don't play WoW. Hi everyone, back today with another video. This one is just a video about how you can make gold flipping for Tinderboxes. Basically, you buy one of the other 4 items, I believe. You need 3 of them, and we'll go through what items they are. You can see here there's a vial. You buy 3 of them, and then you switch them for a Tinderbox. Now, the important thing of note here is that you do need significant gold outlay to do this initially. So I've just done a trial run here and I haven't actually figured out how much gold I've made. I'm pretty sure I'm in the profit. I did have a spreadsheet just to make sure what my minimum, my maximum price had to be before I purchased things for the swapping. But you do have to, I spent 250,000 gold, I think. Yes, I just double checked it. I spent 241,000 gold doing this flip. Everything has sold, and I'm just waiting for, I think it's 60 minutes before it goes into my mailbox for me to open it for you guys to see how much profit we made. I'm confident we're in profit. I just don't know what kind of percentage we're looking at. I don't know if it's an impressive enough profit. We'll find out, I'm sure. This was relatively easy, and this would be a lot easier if you had an auction house mount because I lost time running back and forth from the vendor here. Before we go any further, I just want to thank Aaron, who mentioned this in one of the comments. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. It's a really good way to make gold for people who don't have a lot of time. You don't have to do this in $250,000 lots like I did. You could just do, when they're cheap, buy a couple, go and trade them, and then go do a raid. You don't have to sit here on the auction house like I did. I think I spent like an hour doing this morning, so not very long, and I was still in and out with my kids. So it was a lot of flexibility around making this gold and still having a life. So basically for this flip, you go to the blacksmithing vendor in the capital city and you trade these items for a tinderbox. To make the trade, you need 3 of one of the following: Ringing Deep's Ignance, Vial of Kaheti Oils, Viridian Charm Caps, and Gloom Fathom Hides. And it can be any of those. What I was doing was I just favorited these things on the auction house, and you've probably noticed while watching this, favorited these things on the auction house, and then I was buying 3 of them or more. Sometimes I bought in large intervals. You can see I bought some $25,000-$30,000 lots all at once, depending on how good the price was. I figured out in an Excel spreadsheet just initially what my minimum price was. And I found that with the price of the Tinderbox where it is right now, which is 2,300 goldish, I found that 745 gold per thing was profit. And anything less than that was substantially more profit. You can see when the items are quite low, I buy a lot of them. You can go right up to 750, at least at the moment. Figure it out on your own because these prices fluctuate. Just have a quick look. What does 3 of these things cost me, and how much does it cost to list one of the tinderboxes? And make sure you're in the profit. Don't buy things that are more expensive than you're going to be able to flip them for. So you can see here the average price is 773 gold for this. And that is like squeezing in profit. We're talking not very much at all, like 2 or 3 gold for the flip. So don't do that. Just make sure you're checking what the price of the tinderbox is at the moment and then figuring out what your happy price is for buying the other items for the flip. So your price, you might have a lower tolerance for risk than I do. Your price might be much lower. I did manage at some points to pick up a couple of these for 700, for 710, as people were just offloading them. And I would actually manage to get a couple of the people who list for cheaper to steal your goods, basically. I actually managed to buy a couple of those. So I did really well at getting the snipers. And I made pretty good return on some of those. Like I said, I haven't opened the mailbox yet, but I can see listed in my auction house, the things have sold. I do recommend that if you're going to do this, to favorite the items, the 4 items you trade for the tinderbox and the tinderbox itself, so you can check updated pricing, so you don't drive yourself nuts trying to filter through it. There are add-ons for this, and I know you can use them. I don't know. I just really struggle with them. I find them just a bit extra in terms of, it's another thing to learn, and it can be a thing you can work out with a calculator on your phone. So I just did it that way. It's probably more efficient to use the add-ons, but if you've got them and you know how to use them, go ahead and do it. But if you don't, it's not necessary. I'm not using them, and I'm still doing just fine with my gold making. I realized after an embarrassingly long time that when you go to the vendor, if you shift-clicked, you can type in a number instead of having to click yes for every box you buy. You can buy them in intervals for how much you have. So do that. It's much faster than what I was doing initially. You'll save a lot of time. If you don't have the initial gold outlay you need to do this trade, I advise you to go check out my other gold videos because I make lots of gold every week. I'm actually making a compilation right now where I show you how I've made a bunch of gold just this week. So go and check out some of those other methods if you're looking to kind of increase your surplus for these kinds of risky trades. And you can build up your gold before doing this. Another alternative is when you get the items, check on the auction house. Like if you get them from a delve or you get them from the piles of dirt that get the wax from it, if you get those items, go and check on the auction house whether or not it's worth converting them into a tinderbox before you list them. That's a good way to make some gold there if you don't have the outlay that I do to just buy insane amounts of it all at once to do this. If you found this video entertaining or helpful in any way, clicky on that like and subscribe button. It's free for you and it's super helpful for me. Just as a side note, the algorithm really likes it if you watch the video all the way to the end. I know it's a bit to ask, but if you could do that, that would be super helpful. I would really appreciate it. So now we've talked about how this flip works and ways to generate gold if you don't have the money to do the flip yet. We'll go look at how much gold I made doing this, and we'll see. So just as a reminder, I did spend 241,000 gold doing this flip. So when we open the mailbox, it's going to look a lot more impressive than it really is. So we're going to open it. Just remember, I did spend 241,000 gold to make the money I make from the mailbox. So we're logging in for the moment of truth. I haven't actually checked this yet. I have no idea how much gold we've made. Pretty confident we've made a profit. I just don't think it's a massive one. So we'll find out. I'll go open it now. So all of the items sold. And you can see we made 247,442 gold from this flip, which remember, not all of that is profit. Our profit is 5,614 gold. It's not an insane amount of gold, but so it's not going to replace my other gold farms, but I'm definitely going to add it to what I'm doing. I think every time you load stuff on the auction house, you put stuff up on the auction house, check to see if these things are cheap and buy them and then do the flip. I am going to add it to my routine. I'm not going to do this as a solid gold farm. If you spent a day on this, you could probably make a lot of gold, but you'd have to have a lot of gold to start with. So I'll definitely be adding this one into my rotation. I reckon I'll get an extra 10,000 gold, maybe 20,000 gold a week doing this just in between uploading stuff on the auction house. That's all for today. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW. That's all for this compilation. If you made it to the end, that's a super phenomenal effort. In all honesty, it takes me longer to make these videos than it does to actually make the gold I tell you about. I probably spend twice as long making these videos every week than I do actually getting to play WoW. It's a good thing I enjoy it, but it does take a long time. So if you were one of the people who liked and subscribed or watched to the end, thank you so much. It makes that time just a little more worthwhile. And I hope this helps you in your gold farming endeavors. That's all for today, and as always, remember, girls don't play WoW.